Good morning from Universal Studios. We are here to do something that I don't know that we've ever done, and that is early park entry to the parks. We actually do get this included with our annual pass, but we've never taken advantage of it at the parks, but we're here to show you today kind of how that works and how it goes.
My first tip, besides coffee, because that is a necessity when it's 7:30, I woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, besides coffee, is to bring or eat some sort of breakfast. I have generic Aldi Pop-Tarts.
We have made it in. So it is currently 7:29. So we have about 30 minutes until early park entry starts here at Islands of Adventure. Now you'll find that early park entry is going to kind of vary depending on when you are here. Usually it will be one park or the other that will have early park entry. And sometimes during like really busy times, they may have both parks open for early park entry, but it is good to know that you need to check the website for your trip dates to know which park is having early park entry. So for us, Islands of Adventure is the one today. Our goal is to ride Hagrid's because that is one of the only rides that you can do that doesn't offer an express pass. So that is the goal this morning. It is also important to note that not every attraction in the park is available for early park entry, only select attractions. Again, those are also listed on the website, so when you check to see which park is open, make sure you check to see which attractions are open. Typically, it's going to be the Harry Potter lands and a few of the bigger attractions. My tip is to definitely get here as early as possible. I would try to be able to get here so that you can get through security about an hour before early park entry, just so that you can kind of be ahead of the crowd as much as possible. When they open those gates, everyone is gonna like run. Not run, we're not running in theme parks, but they're gonna hustle. So the closer to the front that you can be, the better. Did you have your caffeine this morning? You feel ready to rush to Hagrid's? Will you feel ready in 30 minutes?
It's debatable. My caffeine is still loading.
Okay, it's basically like 10 minutes till, and they just open the gates, so I have a feeling they might start scanning people in soon.
I'm curious how much faster, because there is a pretty sizable crowd here this morning. I'm curious how much faster this will go versus rope drop at Disney, because Universal has face recognition systems, so they basically like take a picture of your face, so you don't have to do like a fingerprint or anything at Universal. So
I know usually whenever we do it, just like any time of day, it goes pretty fast for us, especially since our photo's already in the system. So I know it usually goes pretty fast, so hopefully it goes fast this morning. The reason why at Disney it takes so long is because everybody's different tickets and magic bands and things all have like different little light effects, and I know like for annual pass holders, ours takes like so long before it will turn green.
One thing to note with the photo recognition, you can technically opt out of it if you want to. Just ask a team member on how to do that, and they'll probably have you go through like another line. We have our face on record.
Basically the goal of it is just to make sure that you're not using someone else's ticket. That's all it is. All right, here we go. They've started scanning in and people are already hustling. They're running. Don't run in the theme parks. In? Let's go.
We are in.
We're off. So we made it in the park. It is 7:54, so it looks like they did start scanning in like just shy of like 10 minutes before the park officially opened. So we are hustling our way over to Hagrid's. So like I said, in this park, it is mostly, what's it called? Hogsmeade. So Harry Potter, that'll be open. Jurassic Park, like VelociCoaster is open. I think those are the main areas in this park.
Yes. So for EPA, those are the two probably biggest attractions that people are doing during early park entry is Hagrid's, especially Hagrid's, which I'll get to in a second, and VelociCoaster. Those are the two attractions that probably will have the longest waits consecutively throughout the day.
Credentials out. Check. That's your Hotel key card. Annual pass ticket with the EPA listed on the ticket. Up ahead is your checkpoint. All
you.
You guys are good. We are taking the shortcut.
Sorry, we had to get our credentials out.
So once you scan in, that is important to know is once you scan into the park, because they will hold you in like a separate area. So let's say you're coming for regular rope drop and not early entry. I think you can technically still scan in, but they're not gonna let you in to like actually ride the rides. They'll hold you at a different area. Now here's the other thing. There are sometimes when people are like, why would I get here so early for early park entry if I'm still gonna have to stand around and wait for 30 minutes to an hour or whatever? Here's my logic. Yes, you could wait 90 minutes during the day sometime to ride it, but you're having to spend that entire 90 minutes of actual park time. Whereas when you do early park entry, some of that time is going to be eaten up. You're probably still going to wait a little less or about the same amount of time, but some of that time is eaten up before park hours so that you're not wasting actual park time waiting in the line. Hopefully that makes sense. I will say probably doing Hagrid's and then VelociCoaster might be a better idea, just because if you go the other way, Hagrid's is going to be a really long line by the time you get over there after VelociCoaster. Also, be ready to power walk and be out of breath.
It's a very long walk back here.
We're almost there.
Good morning, everyone. This is live for Hagrid's Motorbike Adventure.
Okay, we made it to the end of the line. It's definitely long, but I also think it'll take them a minute to like fill in the thing. So we'll see how long. We made it here exactly 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock right now. So we'll time and see how long the wait is. I'm gonna guess 45 minutes.
Yeah, I was saying 40, 45 minutes. An important thing to note with Hagrid's, and honestly a lot of rides at Universal, is that most attractions you will need to put your bags, things like that, loose items in a locker. My biggest pro tip for that is to use something like a fanny pack, something about that size, because the free lockers are pretty, they're
little.
They're pretty
little.
small.
You
So-
cannot fit a big backpack in those little lockers.
If you have a large backpack, you will need to purchase one of the larger lockers.
And I would even say a lot of the lounge flies are pushing it. Okay, time to put you away. We'll see you after. Okay, we've switched to phone mode, so sorry if the audio is a little weird, but made it in line. The line's actually moving along, so I really think it'll be 45 minutes or less. That's my prediction. So.
I'm so out of breath.
Anyways, if you have a really small fanny pack that can be worn around your waist, they did say that you can bring those onto the ride. So we probably could have brought our fanny pack. I will say this coaster's decently intense. So if you're worried about your stuff jostling around, probably better to go ahead and put it in the locker.
In the wild. Merlin's beard, we did see.
Look at them unicorns.
And look, she's a mom.
Aww. Wow. Good.
Wow.
How was that?
So good. I think this is my favorite coaster of all time. I like it even more than VelociCoaster.
That was so fun.
It is such a good attraction. Honest to God, that is like the first time I've done Hagrid's in like a year, just because we never want to wait for it, but it is worth every minute of waiting for.
It's so fun. I will say too, like if you get lucky and get to be like towards the front of like the train, there's a part where it goes like up, 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 and then it goes down. And if you're towards the front, like you go way up.
Yeah.
That is so fun, and that drop gets me every freaking time.
So you may be wondering, okay, like why get here early? We waited like 25 minutes.
Yeah, so we got in line at 8 o'clock, and we got on the ride at 8:25. It's now 8:38, And we just looked, and the wait is now 120 minutes.
Which I believe it's probably every minute of that.
So even though we waited 30 minutes, so we waited 20 minutes?
Between 20 and 25 minutes.
No. Before park opened. So we got here and we got in line at 7:30 out front to scan into the park. They let us in about 10 minutes before. It took us about 10 minutes to get over here. And then we waited 25 minutes. So that was... It just still like that 30 minutes before, like that extra 30 minutes. I'm glad we were able to spend that before the park even opened instead of spending the 30 extra minutes in the park when we could knock out another ride in that 30 minutes.
Yeah, and technically we still have another 20 minutes of early park admission. So I think we're gonna head over to VelociCoaster now, see how long the wait is on that.
We're gonna see how it is. I'm not gonna ride at Mark Allen, probably will. I'm hoping that maybe they'll let me wait in line with him, but not ride. We're gonna go over there and investigate, see what it looks like over there.
One of my favorite things about early park admission is that you get to take advantage of Hogsmeade basically borderline almost empty because the rest of people without access to early park admission aren't in here yet. So you can really appreciate a lot of the details all throughout this land. And I want to point out a couple. The first one I'm not going to point out because for legal purposes, that is absolutely unacceptable. But when you're here, even you don't have to obviously do this during early park admission. Make sure you go to the bathroom in Hogsmeade because keep your ears open. You might hear a familiar ghost. It's Moaning Myrtle, which is kind of funny because she's in the men's restroom. For this next detail, we have to get really low and look at a trash can, and you may be wondering, that's kind of gross. But this is one of my favorite details in this land. There's little doors on the trash cans for the house elves to empty out the trash, and I think it's just those little details to keep your eye out for. It's so fun. I love small little details like that.
Guest safety is our paramount concern.
How was it?
My head kind of hurts.
I got a slow-mo video of you.
Wow.
Was that fun? That was only like a 10-minute wait.
My butt was in that seat at 9:04. I think I waited.
Yeah, I saw you at 9:06.
Yeah.
So that wasn't bad at all. So I would say, and the park just opened, so the rush of like all the normal like day guests is coming now.
Yeah,
so
like that line is infinitely longer now.
Yeah, so
it still says 25 minutes, which is probably accurate, but...
And we didn't rush over here. I would say as long as you can get in line before the actual park open times, then you'll probably be good.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
So pretty successful early entry, I think. That was good. Very fun.
Might need some more coffee to combat that 6 a.m.
Maybe
alarm.
some food.
And some food. I take back what we kind of just said. The last talking head we did, sorry, it's going to be really loud right here. It was 25, and then literally right after we finished talking about that, it jumped up to 45, and the line was like outside of the building.
Yeah, so I really do think that being able to get in that line before official park open is 100% key. So, because that does jump up really fast. So I do think that it is a good strategy to go ahead and do Hagrid's first and get that knocked out, and then come over here to VelociCoaster. Those are kind of the two main rides that people like to rope drop. And then I would say if you wanted to head back over to Forbidden Journey or any of those other ones, typically those don't get longer waits until a little bit later. So that's kind of how I would do this park. Let us know in the comments if you want to see us do a Universal Studios rope drop video or early park entry video. We'll have to wait until the day that it's doing early park entry, but we could definitely do that in another video. I do also want to talk about who qualifies for early park entry. So like we mentioned at the beginning of the video, we are annual pass holders, and so we actually get early park entry included with our pass. However, the other people that can get early park entry are guests who are staying at a Universal resort. So that is definitely a huge perk to staying on property. And then I will also give you kind of like a little pro tip, is that if you book your multi-park or multi-day tickets with a travel consultant, you also get early park entry. You don't get it for single day tickets. They kind of got rid of that, unfortunately. But if you have like multiple day tickets and you book those through a travel planner and you're not staying on property, you do still get access to early entry. So if that is something that you are interested in, I will leave the link for Goofy Getaways down in the description box below. They would be happy to help. And remember, if you're wanting to stay at Universal resorts, they can also help you book that too. There's lots of great benefits to booking with a travel planner because they can kind of help you through all the steps and show you all the tips and tricks and all that good stuff. So you can learn more about that in the description. I do also want to put a little caveat that I don't think all annual pass holders get early park entry. So make sure that you are checking your perks and benefits for your specific annual pass on the Universal website before you purchase, if that's something that is important to you.
One other tip that I did want to mention is early park admission hours can and will change. So just make sure you're checking the website or the app for specifically when early park admission is. Don't forget that it applies not only here at Islands of Adventure, but it can sometimes also apply for studios and even Volcano Bay. So make sure you're taking advantage of that benefit if you do have it.
If you made it to this point in the video, make sure you leave us a dinosaur emoji. And that is all we have for you guys today. Now go create your ever after.